Hello, my name is Joe Weisenbaker, and I assume you are getting ready to watch this video because you're interested in the helper application I've written to work with the new Medicare Drug Plan Finder. So I am going to deliver this with a minimum of commentary, primarily to show very much how actually working with this program would look to someone who is practiced with using the Medicare Plan Finder and simply wants to use it. So this first video is a very short one. It shows the application being used simply to accomplish calculating total expenses for a particular user, taking into account the drugs that they take, their costs, the plans they have at their disposal, and what those premiums are, and then sorting the results of a drug plan search under a particular pharmacy and generating the output. So, without further ado, I'm starting up the application. It takes a few seconds to bring everything up, and here we have the opening window. We're going to be looking at 2019 data. We are going to be doing a classic plan search for a selected pharmacy, and none of these other options matter. So I'm going to close this window. I'm now going to provide a name for the files that are going to be created by the search. Let's see, this is September 26, and I'm going to call this General Plan Search under a pharmacy. This part of the name is going to be what is the first part of the names of the files that the program creates as a result of running. The screen that's just popped up is the control screen. Whenever the Medicare Plan Finder's been navigated to the point where it's ready for the program to take over its operation, this is the screen that would be closed. So I'm going to pull this off down here, sort of out of the way. I'm going to capitalize on my own drug list. This works equally well, though of course it's somewhat more time consuming if you're entering in a drug list for someone. I'm going to set things up to do a Part D plan search. It works equally well with Medicare Advantage plans, searching for those. This is my drug list. It corresponds to the list of generic meds that the researcher at Consumer Report used last year when she was doing her investigation of cost variations by pharmacy and plan. And what I'm going to do is to select a pharmacy, one of my favorites, personally, no endorsement intended. This is a common occurrence, the pop-up of the Medicare.gov request for filling out a survey, which is totally inappropriate at this point since we haven't really used the search site yet anyway. And I'm going to start things off. It's retrieved the plans available for that Kroger pharmacy in my zip code. It's accumulating the data from the specific plans. At this point, it's actually going through the mail order option to extract the data tied to getting the drugs via the mail order pharmacies. And that's it. This is the text output from it. It indicates when the plan search was performed. It indicates that we were looking for the lowest cost plan under selected pharmacies. We were looking for Part D plans. My current enrolled plan is Aetna Medicare RX Select, and that was in my records, and I had specified looking under Kroger Pharmacy for doing the search. This gives the path to the file where the overall spreadsheet-like results for this search are stored. It tells me that the cost of those drugs between now, which is September 26th, in other words, if I were to start something in October through the end of the year, those would run together with my current premium for my plan, $194.13. The lowest cost option that might be available if I were able to change my plan right now would give me a total estimated cost till the end of December of $94.50. It would come with that pharmacy I specified through Envision RX Plus, and that would save me $99.63 between now and the end of the year. If I were considering using a mail order pharmacy, according to the figures currently available through the Drug Plan Finder, I could get those drugs through the Express Scripts Medicare Saver plan, their mail order pharmacy, for $100.56. From my current plan's mail order pharmacy, I would otherwise be expected to pay $104.09, and so then if I were enrolled in the Express Scripts Medicare plan, Saver plan, it would save me about $3.50 over the mail order cost of those drugs from my current plan. Okay, I'm going to shut down that window. I'm going to log out of the Medicare site, close the window. I don't need this anymore. And what I'm going to do now is show you the spreadsheet like output available from here. Okay, here we have the it actually creates 3 files. The one file, the one that ends in .txt, was the one whose contents we were just looking at. The CSV file here is the detailed information, focusing especially on cost through the Kroger pharmacy I selected. And this final one looks at the array of cost options via mail order. So we're going to open up this one. Let's see, it's a comma delimited file. And of course I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so it fits in the space of the window that I am recording. And here we can see the results. This file includes every single Part D plan available in my area code, of which there are 27. And it indicates for each plan what that array of drugs in my drug list would cost if purchased through the pharmacy, and this is a total till end of year cost that includes both the price for the drugs as well as the price for the premiums for each particular plan. And we can see here up at the top our lowest cost option, which we had seen already, and you can see where prices go depending on how far you're willing to drop or increase your prices. If you had a particular company that you were very fond of, for example, let's say Blue Cross Blue Shield, what we can see is under that, I'm looking down through here, it looks like MediBlue is how they are listed these days as the company itself. And I'm only seeing 2 of those. And the least expensive option with Blue Cross Blue Shield then at this particular pharmacy with those particular drugs between now and the end of the year would cost me $349.80. If on the other hand I were particularly fond of, for example, AARP branded plan, the lowest cost available for one of those would be their AARP Medicare RX Saver Plus plan, and at the Kroger pharmacy the total cost for drugs and plan till the end of the year would amount to almost 2.5 times what I would otherwise pay using the Envision RX Plus plan. Now, one thing that's worth pointing out is I'm also retrieving the star ratings for each plan. And what you can see is that the least expensive plans that it has retrieved in the Envision RX Plus and the Cigna HealthSpring RX Secure Essential both have fairly undesirable ratings of 2 stars out of the 1 to 5 star rating scheme. So a very plausible thing to talk with a beneficiary that you might be counseling about this would be to say, well, what if you were to opt for a much higher star rated plan, 3.5, the Express Scripts Medicare Saver plan, which is third one down. You could buy into that particular plan for an additional cost of something on the order of about $20. And this would be something I would bring up in counseling a beneficiary. So those are the big picture items when it comes to this particular application for my software. There are 2 other videos, one that shows looking for the lowest cost pharmacy under a given plan that might be appropriate to run for somebody during the middle of a plan year. The other one is the full-blown look for the best cost pharmacy and plan combination. Those are in separate videos. Hope this has proved to be helpful.